You did not have a report this week. Do you have anything going, Tim?
We don't have any formal agenda items, but I figured I'd use the time to give a brief update on things that we've had going on in the town. For one, the Eric Road Culvert Rehabilitation Project is almost complete. On Thursday last week, we were able to slip line the culvert pipe into the box culvert section. And I believe today they did the first 5 yards of grouting in the interstitial spaces in there. They bulkheaded the ends off over the weekend and got the first part of that done today. They're going to do another pour tomorrow. And depending on how that goes, they'll either finish it tomorrow or finish the remainder the next day. The Wilrose Court structure has been in for a while, but the flat gate has just come in, and I believe that is expected to be installed tomorrow morning, so that project will then be complete as well. The flushing and closed circuit televising of the sanitary sewer lines is part of our monies from the Niagara County Sewer District. That was completed last week as well, so we're waiting for the final logs and videos from the company that did the work.
Okay.
So,
Based on the full amount?
pretty close to it, correct.
If they can get the bill in before our next meeting.
We'll push them for it
Okay. I'd like to have that into the sewer department
this year.
before the end of the year, if I can.
Okay. So that's all I have.
Okay, anything for Tim? Anything?
Thank you.
Thank you. We do have a bid opening. We did an RFP for engineering services. It's been a long time since we've done one. We're very happy with our engineers, but it is something that it's time to do. Kathy's going to let us know what's going on at this point, but we will not be studying these tonight.
We received proposals and proposal from McDonald, Freeman, Peterson, Lendo Engineering. Stowe Rover Associates.
Yeah, that's CRA, yeah. Oh, interesting.
We also received 2 letters from companies that were not interested in submitting bids. That was Crofton Associates and Boyd Albert. So all of these will be open and reviewed and compared by the council.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to regular motions, Bob.
First motion is to approve a contract with NIACAP, the annual contract at a cost of $5,000, which is what was the prior year contract too.
It's from me, so I'll go ahead and move on that.
I'll second.
Second by Randy. Anything on the question? This is actually for next year's contract, next year's budget. If no questions, then all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That's approved.
Next motion is to authorize the Wheatfield Lions Club to operate the Fairmont Park Snack Bar for the 2015 season as was done last year, and I guess in the interest of full disclosure, Supervisor Cliff and I are members of the Lions Club.
Proud members of the Lions
Yes.
Club.
So moved. Second on the question.
Moved by Gil, second by Larry. Larry, go ahead.
Mike, how did it go last year? I didn't hear any complaints. It sounded like it was an added venue that was well needed.
Okay, anything further? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I am abstaining. Any opposed? 4-0-1, Kath.
Next motion is to approve certain budget amendments to the general fund, highway fund, and lighting district budgets as set forth in the motion.
Again, it's requested from my department, so I'll go ahead and move on this.
I'll second.
Okay. Moved and seconded. Anything further on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That's approved.
Next motion is to approve the journal entry review and approval policy manual for journal entries.
So moved.
Do we have? Second by Art. This is basically just putting into writing the process that we've been following ever since Ed's been in office. Make sure that there's at least 2 eyes on every single transaction. So, anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That's approved.
We're going to hold the next motion until the next meeting. Motion after that is to extend the time to advertise for a truck driver position until December 18, 2014 at noon.
Okay. Who are the liaisons in the department?
Larry and I are.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second, but is there a way to get this advertised on our website?
It should be advertised on the website. I don't think it did get up
It
there.
did not, and that's,
Yeah.
I was wondering too if it should be advertised in the Buffalo paper. Try and get it out, get a little more broad, viewer, whatever you want to call it, to see it. Because to not receive but one bid or something or on it for a month is,
Well, there were actually 3 applications. One of the applicants did not have the proper license. There were a couple others that the highway superintendent didn't feel were sufficient. I don't know, was it advertised in the Gazette?
it was in the Gazette according to Paul. I
Okay.
believe twice. Is that correct? I didn't see it, but
I don't know.
I asked him about advertising on the website.
It definitely should go on the
and
website.
we
no
will.
doubt.
And the other, he had another application from a non-resident. That was one of the 3.
Are these civil service positions at all, or?
They're non-competitive civil
I'm
service.
just wondering, the county website too, if they, we could put it on that. I know they put other municipalities on there when they have certain openings. I don't know if that's something
Yeah.
that they could put too, if we could
If
check
they're
it.
willing to do it, I don't see why not. It doesn't,
It's free.
yeah, it's free. Why not?
Anything else, guys? If nothing else, then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved.
Next motion is to permit the recreation director to post for 2 groundspersons positions.
So move.
second.
Moved by Art, second by Gill. Anything on the question?
Is this from within the house, or are we going to post this on the internet?
No, this has to be in-house first.
Okay.
Anything further on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
I'm going to once again abstain.
Do you want to proceed with the next motion for the electrical work, or is that being held too?
I don't see a reason to hold that.
Okay. This would be a motion to award a contract to perform electrical work at the recreation building, storage building, and stove at the youth center to Caridi Electric for $5,790.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Art, second by Gill. Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That's approved.
Next one's to authorize the highway superintendent to post for 3 MEO positions.
I'll make the motion.
Moved by Larry, do we have
I'll
a
second.
second by Randy? Unfortunately, Paul isn't here. It's hard to ask him questions.
It's his request.
Yeah, but why 3? I think that's the question I'd like to have. 2 people moved up, where's the 3rd?
He lost 2. I think Greg Martin was an MEO, and I also think Jamie Irving, that is now his new deputy, was an MEO,
Right, and Paul himself.
and Paul himself. So he, I
But
think,
Paul replaced Greg Martin. Greg was out of there 2.5 years ago.
yeah, but they replaced him with a truck driver, I think.
And that truck driver has been alternating back and forth, working out of classification. So he thought it would be smarter for the $1,000 a year increase, 50 cents an hour, to go forward and make one more MTO. Okay. Then, anything else on the question? Then we'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That's approved.
Next is to authorize Paul Sigmund and Bruce Mack to attend emergency management training in Lockport at no cost to the town.
So moved.
Moved by Gil. Second. Second by Art. Richard's also going to be going to that. I'm also going to be going to that. And Mark Kasperzak, I believe, is also going to be going to that. So we're pretty well represented in town. Mark, maybe you know a little more about this to explain just exactly what this is all about. It's to get everybody in the county on the same page, right?
It's a statewide initiative, and it's level 3, which I think is the lower end. All county emergency management required state mandate for level 1 or 2.
Cost.
This local training is right now optional, not mandated, but it's to get an explanation out, so everyone's understanding about the rules and regulations, laws in regards to declaring state.
Yeah, when and how to declare an emergency. We came pretty close last year because of the ice jam on the river, and the county manager actually came over here, sat down with Bruce Mack and I, and we talked about it, that if we had to, this is how we would go ahead and do it. Luckily, the river never came up enough to get into people's yards, but it was very close. It'll be a formalization of that training, I think. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved.
There are a couple of other motions. One is a minor correcting motion, and that is to amend the approval for the sale of a 1996 GMC truck by Water Sewer Auctions International. It was actually sold for $3,500. The authorizing resolution was for $3,550, so we need to correct it to the $3,500.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Randy, second by Gil. Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That's approved.
Next motion is to enter into a shared service agreement with Niagara County for a period of 1 year to expire on December 31, 2015, to authorize Town of Wheatfield retirees who are eligible to obtain insurance coverage with Niagara County to obtain insurance from Niagara County, and the town shall make any additional premium payment directly to the Niagara County Treasurer in accordance with the reimbursement schedule set forth in the town's personnel manual.
I'll make the motion.
Moved by Larry,
I'll second.
second by Art. Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That's approved.
I think we will want to do an executive session to update on union negotiations, but we can do that at the end of the meeting.
Okay, we can do that after public input?
Yes.
Okay. Then we'll move on to board member items. Larry, do we have anything?
No, I'll make questions or answers.
Okay, Art?
Yeah, I have quite a litany. I think you received a handout from our facilitator for the Comprehensive Planning Board, the task force. Richard, would you like to get up and just speak a bit? You don't want to? You want me to go right on ahead? Okay. Okay, just as a brief summary, some of the things we've been working on. The Town Center Focus Group continues to visit area libraries, becoming familiar with services that are offered to their residents. Anyone that's interested in getting on that committee, we certainly would welcome your attendance and some input. We're taking a look at doing something potentially with a library here in Wheatfield, so that we don't take ghastly amounts of money and fork it over to another town. Agricultural Focus Group are making significant progress in drafting the town farm protection law. We have a little bit of help from a consultant, and when they have that finished and prepared, will make the presentation to you all. Green Space Focus Group has contracted with the help of our town attorney for publication the Town Green Space Master Plan. I want to thank everybody for their active part in the membership. The plan is designed to preserve and to grow the green space in the town of Wheatfield, which I think I heard a lot of you stating you'd like to see happen here. Disaster Planning Focus Group. We have members in attendance of the Niagara County sponsored emergency management plan. You just heard Supervisor Cliff discuss that. People are going to take additional training in addition to the 5 fire companies that periodically hold CPR training classes and general first aid. This goes a long way to helping to protect our citizens, not necessarily having to wait for an ambulance or a fire department to arrive on the scene. The Veterans Memorial Group is just about the last one, is now engaged in developing the architectural and engineering drawings and the specifications. It's our intent to use these drawings to calculate the costs. We're working hard and diligently to get the costs and everything done. Our next meeting will be in January 8th. And the Fire Advisory Board has been addressing some of the issues they're seeing with the new settlements. And Mark, I'll probably drag you in here a little bit. Fire Advisory Board is asking the question once again of the town board and the planning board, one entry. And the egress at one time was talked about and discussed in new developments that we would have 2 routes for getting in and getting out, and not necessarily just a road divider. A road divider is not 2 entrances and exits. It's one road split in half. That's simply one way to circumvent the road. That's not what the Fire Advisory Board and fire services are looking for. Mark, would you want to elaborate a little bit more? No?
The Fire Advisory Board actually discussed this at length several times, and our most recent is track down copies of the town code in relation to that, and we looked at it in the last 2 meetings. And in fact, I had a conversation with the town attorney about the process of submitting the possible revision.
Okay. Okay.
Because it's very, and I'm not sure there was correspondence between the planning board and saying, because of the vagueness of the curve made. I think the Fire Advisory Board was prepared to help present a proposal.
All right. And one more, so I can throw you on the spot one more time. I see that you discussed a little bit about the hazardous response mode and what you would be doing in an event with the Quasar company. And I just gave you a bag. Thank you very much for the material safety data sheets. You now have everything for Quasar, and if you could take those back to your board, maybe review those, and that'll help you folks to come to some sort of a conclusion and arrive at some plan.
That was submitted this week, and Bob said,
Yep.
our suggestion, I don't believe MPS.
Okay, I didn't know if you knew exactly all what was there.
So, and here and there, I'm feeling the Fire Advisory Board.
Thank you, Art.
Thank you. Go ahead. I didn't know you had something as well. Just in addition to that, again, our meeting on the 1st was reviewing the division plans and work on the biosolids law and procedures for the town. We are starting to look forward to and discussing possible townwide plans for recruitment. We can include 15
Okay. That's it? Thank you, Mark. Randy, anything?
Yeah, the agricultural focus group will be meeting on Tuesday, December the 16th at 7 p.m. at the community center. And a couple other questions on the. We talked at the community center a while ago, and I don't know who would answer this about the heating on that roof. It was a dangerous situation. Did we ever get anywhere on that? And also on the precast on the columns, did we ever get that precast set and mortared in?
No on the precast, and we got one bid so far on the intake, and then we're gonna talk to Creedy when he comes back and very good probably call him, or Rick Martin personally. I'll see if K&W, that's something they can do.
Thank you.
Gil?
Nothing.
I do have a couple of things. I got a letter from Bert Marshall and Anthony Restaino from the county. They have times when they have cars on the road for social services. They're out in our area, and they would like to have the opportunity of purchasing gas through Wheatfield. I haven't had a chance to talk to you, Paul, but I understand from my secretary to your secretary that you don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I sat down with Francine and talked about it. There's no problem with it.
How expensive is it for us to get the bill to social services?
Cost of stamp, I guess, but they were willing to pay, I think, an extra
They're offering 5 cents.
5 cents a gallon. I mean, I think it's actually more than what some of the other places they use our fuel pay. But I mean, we should be charging a little more just for administrative costs, like you say, if you do gotta fill out the bill, or you gotta separate it all and subtract it, so. You have to issue a card. I don't even know what the card costs anymore.
So if we go ahead and do this now, we could do this for a 1-year basis and then take another look at it next year when we find out how much it does cost us. Would be a possibility. One of the things that we're required to do is to look at shared services. It's going to be more important in the future than it has been in the past, although it's been very important in the past. And working together with the county with their $300 and some odd million budget compared to our $12 million budget is a way to hopefully save some money. And here's a chance for us to be helpful back to them. So I'd like to make that motion to approve their request at the cost plus 5 cents per gallon. I guess you'll have to figure out how to deal with the cost, Paul. It's probably a case of the last time you bought it, that's our cost. I don't know of a simpler way to do it. Therefore, I need a second to approve this.
I'll second on the question.
Moved and seconded, and Larry, go ahead.
Paul, you mentioned something about they're going to need a card or a swipe card or something to put into the gas boy system or whatever it's called. What's the price on a card?
That I'm not sure about. When we get that whole new system put in, they gave us 100 cards with it.
Okay, we still have extra cards?
We still have some extra cards. We don't have a lot of them left, but we should have enough to take care of that.
Okay.
I don't know how many they're going to need. Will they use one card?
Bob was saying they had 6 vehicles, so I'm going to guess they're going to have 6 cards or more.
Something along those lines, probably, yeah.
Okay.
If we have to buy more, we probably could get them to pay for it if we choose.
We just maybe put on plus the additional cost per a card if it does become a need. I don't know what the cards are going to cost.
Can we? Yes, obviously. I guess my point is, with all the help we get from the county with paving and et cetera,
I can't picture the cards at that expense.
Okay.
whatever we can do together to save money is the way to go. It's still tax dollars no matter
You
what.
sold me.
Okay, anything further on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that's approved. We'll have to respond back to that letter. The other one, I have a proposal from Verizon, at least I had a proposal from Verizon. And the proposal from Verizon under state contract is about $3.50 less per month per phone than what we're presently paying to Sprint. I went back to Sprint and asked what they can do for next year, and because it's state contract, they can't do anything beyond what they're doing. That's their proposal for statewide. Therefore, I think we can save some money and hopefully get better service by switching over to Verizon Wireless. It's $14.99 per phone per month. That's the phone, and it does have direct click for Rich and for Paul and for anybody that uses that. Supposedly it is a direct click phone. It's a little lighter weight than the other one and hopefully better service. So I'm recommending, and I'll make a motion to switch our service as of January 1st over to Verizon Wireless. Do we have a second?
I'll second on the question again.
Go ahead.
Last time we did phone switch outs, it seemed like it was kind of a little bit of a nightmare getting all the employees in through one person from whoever that provider was. We'll take the old phone, take the SIM card out of that phone, give you the new phone. I don't know, timing-wise, and I don't know how we're going to do this. Are they going to accommodate working hours, or going to different departments on certain days, or how are they proposing on doing that?
If I recall, what he talked about is going to one of the Verizon sites, and they would take our old phone and transfer the information over to new. One possibility is that we have one person do that, or one person per department do that, and see if that works out, because that's not a quick process. It takes a while. They will save our contacts, and they will use the same phone number.
But they don't want to lose their phones for a day or two while they're doing that either.
We probably have to lose it for some time, one way or the other.
Last time we did it, we were down for maybe 5 minutes. But you had to wait for.
Yeah, that was within the same company, though, right?
No, we switched companies. Was it same company? Yeah, when they went from Nextel to Sprint, yeah.
That's the same thing.
Yeah, the logistics I have not worked out, but I think he said we could actually have the employee go right to a distributor with the old and the new and take care of it on the spot. Maybe we can work something out where Francine or somebody else does that for us. She's been the one who's been responsible for the phones up to this point.
I'd hate to have them turn their phones in and wait a day or two to get another phone back, because I know the departments that we don't have walkie-talkies or radios in a lot of our trucks now. They're relying on those cell phones for all their communication.
Yep, I agree. But anytime you improve things, invariably you have to make the house dirtier before you can make it better.
Well, whatever we can do to minimize the pain.
Okay, anything else, guys? If not, all in favor of switching to Verizon, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that's approved. Thank you. That's all I have here.
I had something else, Bob, I forgot.
Okay, go ahead, Larry.
I know maybe Bob O'Toole wants to make mention of it. It was his letter that he sent to our district attorney on a request of John Cunningham. Did you mention it?
Well, Mr. Cunningham had asked that we have the district attorney do some investigation and consider prosecution on drugs in waste products. So I just basically forwarded Mr. Cunningham's request to the district attorney, so we'll see what they do with it.
Yeah, basically transporting pharmaceuticals and other controlled drugs, right?
Yes, it's an interesting legal theory. I'm not sure what'll happen, but.
And our grant writer was in prior to the meeting to talk to the town board. He's gone now, but I'll give you an update from all of our grants. Our Seaway Trail that's along River Road, $1.3 million. That's in with the state. He supposedly says we're supposed to hear something back on that by the end of the year. We have another submission to the Greenway, the county Greenway, for $150,000 over 4 years, $150,000 a year, each year for 4 years. There's some additional material they want from the town. We have to, I guess, check with both school districts, Niagara Wheatfield and the city of Niagara Falls, and get them to support our project. Or is it the city of Niagara Falls?
I think it's the city of Niagara Falls.
Okay. So once we get those letters, it sounds like we should be in good shape to receive $600,000 there. Our River Road Park apparently has some wetlands, and I think he told us that the state is going to let us mitigate those wetlands on a 1-to-4 basis possibly. So if we have 1 acre, we have to give the state 4 more acres of wetland someplace else, which you know, we've got some town land that probably wouldn't be a problem. We've got lots of land. And then the last thing we're working on is the Fairmont Park grant, and I think that plan is pretty close to being approved. I don't know when we're gonna go to construction, but I think it's still waiting at the state. To get moving on that, we're gonna have some nice walking trails and, a few more trees, and what else are they gonna put out there, Mike?
Bathroom.
And a handicap bathroom, right. So, these are all grants we're receiving, and, hopefully next year they're gonna be busy doing a lot of construction on those grants.
Okay. Tim, you looked at me. Is there something you wanted to add? Yeah. Okay, our next meeting is scheduled for December 22nd. What we're going to do is we'll schedule a furtherance of the positive declaration that we did on Cobblestone, so we'll schedule that for 7 o'clock and move on to our meeting after we're done. It may take more than half an hour.
6:30?
Do we want to go to 6:30?
I think Art said he's on vacation.
6:30 is okay, then we'll make it 6:30 for the meeting on the Cobblestone positive deck.
How are we gonna notify the residents out there? I'm sure the residents will find out from some of the people here tonight, but do we, is there a notification process we gotta go through, or?
It will be on the agenda. If we
Be on
want
our
to,
website?
if we want to do a mailing, we can do so. We also should notify the, make sure we notify the developer as well.
I'm sure the Tribune will have it.
Put it in the paper?
The Tribune said they'll have it in there.
Going once, going twice for Gazette? There you go. Okay, so we're going to meet at 6:30, having to do with the positive declaration on Cobblestone, and then we'll have a regular meeting starting at 7:30. That takes us back to public input,